Do I think we'll ever get Slaughter Brutes? Yeah, I think we're guaranteed to get Slaughter Brutes, but Slaughter Brutes are not Cornate. A lot of people think they're Cornate models, which I understand the confusion. They look very Cornate, but Slaughter Brutes are not demons. They're monsters of the physical world, and they are actually undivided. Slaughter Brutes are indeed undivided. They're not Corn. Which I know is probably a little wild considering their appearance and their design. But yeah, they actually could not take Marks of Chaos in Tabletop, and they were just undivided monsters. Which is pretty interesting. Which actually, hold on, I want to check something. See, I think I want to check what monsters could take Marks. Do I think we'll get Putrid Blight Kings? I do not. I do not think you'll see Putrid Blight Kings. I think you'll get Chaos Warriors of Nurgle, and they'll look gross, but I do not think you're going to see actual Putrid Blight Kings. See, what I wanted to check, what creatures could take Marks? What big bads? Could Trolls take Marks? They could not. Chaos Ogres could. Could Chimera? No. Chaos Giants could. You could have Chaos Giants with Marks. Mammoths could not. The Mutalith Vortex Beast could not. And the Slaughter Brute could not. Okay, so the only like beasties that they've really left out are the Giant and the Ogres. Beasties. There are a lot of units that, honestly, I'm kind of, now that you mention it, Doru, I'm kind of surprised Forsaken did not make the cut. Like, I guess they kind of have a lot of overlap, but like I could totally see Forsaken fitting in nicely. But that being said, what y'all think? What do y'all think of the Corn roster? There was a lot. They made some interesting decisions with that roster. Like, I think it was fantastic, but oh my gosh, that's a comment. Here's the thing about the Kislev roster being kind of posted disappointing. The Stretzy visuals because it's based on actual historical regiment, like great source in the Empire. HRE was. I want to see X guns. Okay, Deviant. That's fair. I mean, that's a fair thing to feel. You know, that's not something that I personally. I don't think it's something that I would say other content creators chose to ignore. You know, it's either maybe they just don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of histories across the world. That being one of them. Like, I have no idea what they're based on. As far as like regiments and stuff like that. And some people also, you know, just might not care. But it's totally valid to feel that way. You know, everyone's kind of got their own hopes and things they want to see interpreted or designed or pushed over. But and you know, not everything's gonna be there. I will say, when it comes to the Streltsy, I do wish they had found a way to give both variants.
Remember your place,
so like
stranger.
Make a halberd variant that's the original one, and then maybe your great weapon variant or the upgraded version
That woman said to meet her
could
at a
be
green
the
tent
one that
worth a visit.
you know, could be taken there. Wait, what? What are you saying about me meeting someone? I've already done everything. I've done all my errands. Yeah. What are you talking about, Aloy? Crazy kid. Still don't like only the two heroes thing. Yeah, I mean, that's just that, you know, it's just in their defense, there's a lot more factions than any of the prior games. And even if you go back to, I think, Warhammer, let's see, Warhammer 2, I think most of the factions came out with 2 lords and 3 heroes, I think was standard. See, Lizardmen were Scar Veteran, Skink Priest, Skink Chief. Skaven was Warlock Engineer, Plague Priest, and Assassin. So, I mean, I don't think the difference between 2 and 3 is that big, to be frank. And considering that they basically have gone from making 4 distinct factions to 7 distinct factions, I think it's okay for the hero and Lord maybe to be a little smaller than usual. Side quests? No, I checked all my side quests. I don't have any. If Corn gets a Lord Pack, Chaos Knights might be in the chamber. I just can't see them charging. The thing about a Lord Pack you have to remember is that you're paying for those model or those units, right? And I just can't see them justify charging money for a reskin, because Chaos Knights of Khorne would just be Chaos Knights with red armor and maybe like slightly different effects on their weapons. I don't see how you could possibly justify charging money for that. Alright, here we go, guys. I like how it's repaired itself since I was last here.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you'll have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan.
Oh, it's one of these.
Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be...
Shut up.
Hey! Elizabeth Sotek here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure this can't have any consequences.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving?
Yeah, okay,
There's
whatever.
so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Matt Gamer, I hope you got some sleep, dude.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn.
Wait, this is it?
We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics did...
Hold on. Lounge staff to admin. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of the reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists. What? And dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well-behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond.
detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
They were doing stuff to people. Let's see. Reception staff. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing Zero Dawn candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused, some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The Lang bots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails. What? I did not think Zero Dawn was going to have to do with messing with people. Looked at the Chaos Warriors. I'm not worried about the units that are in the starting game. Like, you're gonna pay, what, $60 for Total War Warhammer 3, and to bolster the rosters by using units that already exist in the game, I think that's totally fine, especially because they make sense in the roster. And plus, the rosters are packed with tons of unique assets and ideas. When you're dealing with a Lord Pack situation, though, you can't do that. Because for a Lord Pack, you can have free LC. They could do free LC where they give, like, Chaos Knights over. That's totally fine. But they can't, I do not think they can or will include, like, Chaos Knights in a Lord Pack DLC, because they're very good, to be fair to them, about, like, not charging for things that already exist in the game. What do I think about the Soul Grinder having a 40k look? I mean, it's a 40k design. There are kind of like hand wavy stuff in the lore to explain it, but its design was as a 40k model that was added to the Demons of Chaos roster. But I explained this in the video. The demons share a roster between Fantasy and 40k and even AOS.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
I can see why people would be uncomfortable here. The lounge staff again. Restock or else. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge selection of herbal teas. If I had to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of the organic cucumber, mint, or blackberry sage varietals, I'm going to lose it. Please respond this time. And no Tempest in a Teapot or steep demand jokes, okay? So, it sounds like there was staff out here processing all the people they were bringing in, but the staff was, like, pretty much abandoned? Soundproofing. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn. Oh my good lord. What were they doing to people?
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CB01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us.
Oh.
Here's why.
Is it just a cloning program?
By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sotek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
Wow, that's way bleaker than I thought.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
Yeah, that doesn't add up as far as like what the world's like now, because there's biodiversity on the planet.
Kestrels. They got in through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said. Not really. I was on the syzygy response team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it. I still dream about it after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging. Slowly like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure.
You're too close to
But
the
the
tribal
red zone
printers
is
tell us
a
now.
blip compared to
The data
global
point
scale
of the
biomass
victim.
reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring Victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Okay, so yeah, that adds up. Counselor guidelines. For debriefing after presentation 1, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates may have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence for outward calmness or outward calmness indicating acceptance. Oh, Doru hit affiliate? Hey, congrats, dude! Massive congrats, Doru. Yeah, awesome. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with the data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Addenda B and unfeasibility, there we go, of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures. Addenda C1, 2, and 3, so you can counter candidates' objections to death. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are... So... Man, it sounds like they were basically finding scientists and almost taking them
why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Okay, so wow, Ron thought he had it all figured out.
Want to discuss?
Oof. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bible serious, Pentecostal serious.
Revelations.
Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use
got a
a
southern
word,
growl.
it was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sotek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Okay, so they were bringing in everybody, including criminals. Tate sounds like he was a bastard.
That is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities,
Oh,
they don't just kill people.
we got an Australian?
They feed off them.
Not just people. All organic matter.
Not just
Every living
people.
thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor. Please.
Tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Tom wants to kick the shit out of him. I will say, creating robots that can feed off biofuel is an idiotic decision.
You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated
That
Systems.
seems like it just ends
On the
horribly.
chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day.
Wow, so they,
since...
I like these interviews because they're very
Since,
dynamically different.
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Man, so you have a guy there who clearly had no idea what the robots are capable of. Another guy who was either a ruthless or mastermind criminal, and then a guy who helped create them.
Intact.
Oh, here we go.
Initiating playback.
Another movie.
Elizabeth Sotek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness.
Whoa!
What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI.
Gaia.
But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose.
Hades, Apollo, Hephaestus,
now, these aren't AIs, but make
Poseidon,
no mistake.
Zeus.
Each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted.
What the hell is Hades?
Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all.
There's Hephaestus.
And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself.
What went wrong?
Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas.
Wait, no!
To the greening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks. To rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo. The vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Something went wrong, though. Like, it didn't play out the way it was supposed to.
Destroyed, but then remade?
Yes, by a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades, then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me?